Hello again. As usual, this is Becca going by Nightcat or Nightcat's Meow when online, and welcome back for another week dealing with Linden scripting language. In last week's video, we actually talked about securing both the position and rotation inside a given object using a specific character to separate them. In our case, we used an asterisk. In a lot of business applications or just basic programming applications, they'll use commas. It's actually so common, it's called a comma separated value, or CSV, which is a commonly used file type. But since our data used commas, we had to use something else. Now, today we're going to take it a step closer to being a proper res control, kind of like my black box, by showing you how to put it all together into an assembly box. What do I mean by an assembly box? Well, what you'll have in that case is if you have a collection of objects that you want to control the res and placement of all together. I'm just going to make an incredibly simplified, very basic thing here, kind of reminiscent of Stonehenge. It's kind of the inspiration I'm taking for the basic design. Now, realistically, you could make all of this one object. Res it, position it, no problem. But we're going to make each of these a separate piece, specifically because that makes it easier to demonstrate when it's something quick, easy to put together, and all in one place. You could, of course, use anything you wanted, but by this point I think we've dealt with the Mark I cube enough times that any of you should be able to throw something like this together fairly quickly. Now we're going to take the script from here, rename, don't care about where I stick this, it just happens to be convenient. It's the same script that we had last week. And it's gone ahead, just like before. It's put our position and rotation data directly in there. As you recall, that if it is resed with a flag saying it actually came out of the object, then it will go ahead and wait a moment and then move everything to its proper position. So, stone 1, stone 2. I feel like I should be editing the joke from Spinal, the movie This Is Spinal Tap, when they have the mini Stonehenge. There we go. And we can now actually take all of these Now you may kind of be thinking, well, this is just going to repeat the same pieces. What does this actually teach us? Have no fear, faithful viewers. I do, in fact, intend to up the game on this just a touch more. I am not slacking off on you on this one. Because what you're going to want to do is change this. In fact, I'm going to keep that. Is change this part here from a touch start to a on res this is the right way to do it. But this is a slightly simpler way of closing this out if things aren't coming through correctly. If it doesn't get that signal on res, it automatically backs out. So we'll save that. We'll go to recent. Drop all those in there. Create another box. And your storage. This will just make sure that the position it's resed at is just a bit above, easy for us to get a look at. Oh, that's my problem. I accidentally put that in the rotation spot instead of the position spot. That was silly of me. So you see, it automatically created the box marked Rezzers, which we could actually easily set to temporary. And that gave the command that created these. This is the core of a basic Rezzers. The other thing you would do is simply have a control to automatically delete these. Is you add a listen channel, we'll say -10. No key. I've dealt with enough listens at points, you all should know these by now. Kind of assuming that people aren't coming through to this one as their very first introduction to scripting, considering how many videos in I am. If get owner key, who does not equal get owner, return. What this just did is it said, find out who owns the object that's attached to that key. The key that's automatically read from the listen command. If that does not equal the owner, return. That means just exit this, don't do anything with it. Oh. No, that's right. Integer, gen. Name previously declared. Oh. That's because I did something stupid. I've had a tough couple of days. But again, I think I've done enough listens that you all probably know quite what you're looking at there. Build scripts. Remove scripts. Drop the new script in. Collect the modified parts there. Now remember, since we res this from scratch, it doesn't have, it defaults to a 0 on the integer for res, so it did not res anything. We come over here, kill that, drop that in, and change this to a toggle. Remember, that false has to be caps. I've been dealing with Visual Basic recently, wherein it doesn't necessarily, or the compiler handles it itself at least. So I kind of got a little lazy about that because of doing the Visual Basic thing. So here we'll go if henge equals false. Region say -10 die. Is that what we called it? I'm suddenly not remembering. Delete. Important to get that right. Delete. Return. Else. Henge equals true. Res object. Return. Close that out. All right, now it's a toggle switch. We create it. It creates the Rezzer for the henge, which puts the pieces of the henge out there. That will remove itself in a few minutes. Now the henge option should be true, which means we hit it again, and it deletes itself. That there is the core of a Rezzer. You can make it more complicated very easily by just tracking what's been rezzed, or by giving separate commands to it to res different collections of items. Once you have the items contained in these Rezzer boxes, it's all good. So, that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. As usual, good day, good luck, happy scripting, and I'll have another of these tutorials up pretty much every week by noon on Tuesday Eastern Time.